Puberty hit me like a circus bus. I gained 100 pounds and I started balding. My confidence was shattered. I broke down. I had a mental health issue. Hey darling, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today, as you can tell by the title, the thumbnail, we have a traumatic hair journey to share. While I share with you all my natural hair journey, I will be taking out my braids today. Honestly, they look so good on camera right now. But I got my new grow in and it's been a month and I'm pretty ready for them to come out. Hello? Let me see. That is cute. Okay, anyway, disclaimer, my journey did go hand in hand with a traumatic point in my life, and it's only until recently that I was able to open up about it or really like get over it, or at least as over as I'm gonna get for now. I really want this to be a genuine chronological thingamabob, so if I look over to the side, I'm looking at my notes. So when I think back to the genesis of my hair, I think perm. Because when I was natural coming up, I didn't know, I wasn't really a conscious being in that aspect. My mom, on the other hand, said that if she didn't start perming my hair till I was like 7 or 8. So that's kind of like news to me. I was just like fighting her on it every time. And I was actually notorious for being like disobedient when it came to my hair. I was a very good kid. But when it came to my hair, we had problems, okay? I was not the same person. You're not going to be able to get me to sit here and just take this this pain. So fast forward, I hit puberty. Puberty hit me like a truck. Matter of fact, puberty hit me like a circus bus, okay? And I'm gonna get into it in a few minutes. Let me tell you what, once I did hit puberty though, I harbored some resentment to my mom for perming my hair, because I was not the same. I was in the 4th grade, and just like any little girl, I had just regular, degular, A cup, no cup titties. Man, puberty came, I went from like no titties to double D's, you feel me? And I was hurt, I was distraught, I was in disbelief. I couldn't believe that my life had took such a damn turn so fast. Like in the course of one goddamn summer, look how fresh they look. In the course of one summer, child breast to like woman breast, and I was distraught. My confidence was shattered. I'm telling you that just to paint the picture for you that as a young girl, I was already going through something. And then I got this perm child with some braids that like about a week later, baby, your girl started balding. One day, let me tell you what happened. I was going to school. I remember this day like it was yesterday. We was walking to one of the buildings, science and math in a different building. So we walking over there and I just started feeling like the top of my braid. The whole day I was kind of paranoid about it. But it's the product though to lay it down. I do. Girl, my mom would rip that shit out of my head. Like one time I remember I had it so bad because my cousin had did something like straight to the backs, and I had a man all summer, and the gunk was from like the roots to like that, just the roots all the way down. When I tell you, my mom took it for comb and went to the root and put that shit out. I didn't speak to her for like a week after that. That was fucking abuse. Now let me tell you about my mom, bro. My mom grew up in an era of, you know, perms, prejudice, colorism within the household. So like the perm lifestyle was pretty much all she ever knew. And I'm gonna insert a video of my mom's hair. She really didn't need a perm. Girl, my mama got that just add water, okay? Like with me being a part of her life, she began learning like the ins and outs of natural hair. So this is a journey that is shared with us together, but it still, you know, don't compensate for the trauma, you know what I mean? But I'm glad we've grown from it. I mean, fuck. And I'm glad I went through this young, because if I had to do this now, I'll probably have a pixie cut or something, because I just can't. Like I said, I'm on my way to class and I feel my braid and it's just too bushy. I'm like, what? The rest of them don't feel like this. Alright, so I get home and I tell the people, I tell my family. I get home and I tell my family, I'm like, yo, mom, the chick who did my hair was my brother's girlfriend at the time, so she literally like, y'all know Aries love them like close-knit relationships. Y'all be moving in with people a little too quick for me, but hey, that's on you. But my brother chick was kind of staying with us at the time, and immediately I'm like, Mom, T, check this out. My brother was in, I think he looked at it and just, he was very, like, back in the day, dude was cruel. I don't even know, but I know he laughed, but he looked at me like, oh, you're gonna die type shit. When I tell you, they looked at me with like despair, I was crushed. I was crushed already. Because I've always just, ever since I hadn't got perm, I had problems with my hair. That's where the journey begins, is from perm number 1 to however many after that. Shit went downhill. I'm telling you, like with my natural hair dog, I don't remember her like abusing my dome. But ever since them perms, I remember getting my fucking dome abused. From the braids just yamming out my skull from root to tip, to the perm burning my goddamn scalp off, and till balding. I was going through it, and I was like 9, bro. Whew. I've made peace with it because, you know, it's in the past, and hair grows, and just, but the way that this hair has taken up my adolescence is fucking ridiculous. If you know anybody else that has had like a traumatic hair journey or whatever, I think you should share this video. Real talk, like if you know somebody that has always had problems with their hair, or their hair is like striking down their confidence, or their hair was messing with them for some reason, I think you should really share this video with them, because this is not even an attack mode kind of video. Like, this is for the girlies who hair had taken over their life. Like, it's not just a hair journey. Like, this was something that I really had to truly overcome as a trial and tribulation. Like, this is, you know what I mean? That's who you need to share this joint with for real. Because people don't, I don't be seeing people talk about it like this, for the way that this ruined my life. When it came to the perms, my hair routine at the time would be the neutralizing wash. Because if you don't neutralize the chemicals, like, your shit might as well just start coming out then. But a deep condition, and leave-in conditioner. So you had to like condition like every time, and then the leave-in conditioner. And after that we would style, which for me was like braids most of the time. Cause when I tell you, that was not the same head of hair. Like, maybe for a year, but I'm telling you, once puberty hit, I ended up starting to get the braids, because once the perm came through, man, my hair was nowhere near as thick as it was natural. I mean, no shit, that seemed like common sense, but I was a kid, man. So that's just was traumatic. I mean, my hair done just like whole ass just changed, my guy. My hair's not thick anymore, and I'm fat. I was just done. Don't get it twisted about my weight. I was my biggest bully. Nobody really ever fucked with me like talking about. Every night I could count on my hand how many times somebody said something about my weight, because I was a cool person. I am a cool person, and I was a cool person back then. I had friends, I was cool, or whatever the case may be. Mildly popular, if you care about that kind of shit. I was like somebody whose name was known, but I didn't really know that I was known. The weight didn't affect me to the point of bullying from others. Like, I had a mental health issue, like it, and for years to come, it crushed my fucking mental health and emotional health. Yeah. Oh, that feels good. My aunts could use some love after this. Next, what I'm telling you, yeah, I was giving you a disclaimer about how my weight wasn't a problem from the outside, but from the inside, it was detrimental. I was depressed, like I was fucking sick. And I was a kid, and I was going to school like damn near all my days, and or having fun with peers. I ain't had time to be talking about losing no goddamn weight or going to the fat camp. I had a life to live, you know what I mean? But as we got older, I'm sure you could see the change. I don't want my weight to be like a subject on my channel or through the internet, because that's just not my niche. So once my mom and T looked at me with that detriment in their eyes, with that fucking despair, once I got home, honey, I broke down. Okay, I broke down. They took the braids out my hair immediately. It was fucking bald, it was thin. I broke down. When I tell you I broke down, I broke down. I remember it too. Like, I stood in front of my mirror crying for like maybe 3 hours. It felt like 3 days. I know that I cried for like a week after that, but not a week straight. But I would do like the crazy girl thing and just stand in front of the mirror like, and just cry, just like watch the tears roll down my face, like damn, like look at this pain. And like right here I'm gonna insert the picture of like my twist, like big puffy beautiful when I was natural. And I only have like one picture from when I was perm, and let me tell you, I really had to like overcome something in my spirit to be able to show y'all this. Real talk. So I'm gonna show you like the before and the after. Like I'm telling you, if you think that I am exaggerating or that I am playing with you, that I gained like 100 pounds over the course of like one summer, you could just click off this video. I hit puberty and I was fucking hungry, so I ate. But how could you gain 100 pounds? And it had to be God's will. Okay? Because that was ridiculous. So just like anybody in their right mind, I had to stop wearing braids for a while. When I stopped wearing them braids, that's when the internalized abuse began. People loved me. I ain't gonna say I loved myself. I never like hated myself, but I didn't like her. But I'm in love with her now, so we're okay. Growing up, you know, weight would become a topic of discussion. But dog, when I tell you, nobody hurt my feelings more than myself. Like, I felt like my body was too big for this little bit of hair. As a female, like as a young girl, not having hair, I didn't even have enough hair to make a ponytail. And it was all you just saw it was all choppy and just broke off and choppy. My mom came from that colorism slit. I'm not exaggerating. This woman made a ponytail where there is I got a picture because I had to put a fake ponytail on it, because if I went with just this, I had like this much hair sticking out the ponytail. What I look like 200 and something pounds at 10 years old with this much hair coming out my fucking ponytail. A damn fool. But you know, I know some people gotta live like that, but it's just not me. So with that whole balding situation, ain't got enough hair to make a ponytail, and like 200 plus at fucking 10 years old, hell yeah, I was depressed, man. But nobody could really tell. I mean, me and my brother wasn't close at the time. My mom, I mean, I wasn't like unhappy enough to be sitting around moping when I was around her, like talking about, but we didn't really spend like that much time together, like talking about. But it's like, I hit it well for a kid. And don't get me wrong, I was going to the doctor and shit, and he was talking about how I had to lose weight, but I didn't want to hear that shit. After the beginning stages of depression with the weight gain and the hair loss, fast forward about 3 years, here becomes the transitioning period. At this point, I'm like, yo, no more braids, no more perms. Once we then came to that realization that I was done with the perms, it was time for sew-ins. It was time for sew-ins, baby. And when I tell you that them sew-ins became my best friend, like all of my 7th and 8th grade years, I kept a weave, babe. I wouldn't be caught dead without a fucking weave. I would not be caught dead without a weave. Man, except for this one day. That day, I just wanted to like, I don't know if this was like all around the world or if this was a New Orleans thing or whatever, but around that time, everybody was kind of like into the depression stage. Like Juice WRLD hadn't came out, Trippie Redd hadn't came out, and everybody was into the KMS or KYS. Or like at my school, people was fucking retarded, just running around the hallways, hollering rape. So it was like the sad boy era. If you remember the sad boy era, that's when I was like in middle school. So the sad boy era was popularized, but I was like actually sad, but I was funny and I was cool and like easy to talk to, and I didn't mind opening up and expressing about the battles and hardships that I'm facing in my life. So I guess people didn't really take me like too serious, like how you got your head on so right to be so fucking depressed. If you watching this and we went to school together, one day where I didn't have my weave, bro, I could have just died. I gave you the time frame of the sad boy era because I was gonna say I just wanted to kill myself, but That's because of, you know, like, I'm so influenced by the sad boy era, and I was just so sad about this shit for so fucking long. But in reality, I never wanted to like kill myself, but I didn't want to die. Like, this is the first time that my peers had seen my hair. This was the first time they seen me with no weave. And when, like, walking down the hallway, like, everybody was like staring at me like, this day here is the epitome of anxiety. Like, this is some shit that you would have a nightmare about. When you think, oh, everybody's looking at me and no one's looking at you. This day, they were fucking looking. They were looking. Like I told you, I was 5'11" or whatever. So everybody was fucking looking at me. But you know what? I had to keep my head up, stand 10 toes. But let me tell you, when I made it to class that day, the person who was, I thought to be my best friend at the time, when I tell you I could hear this nigga laughing all the way across the class. Like, some friend are you. Like, I am in a state of despair. Like, if I could just be like Dracula and just coughing me right now, I would really take the fucking deal. It was horrible. So then this dude that I had a crush on at the time, he was fucking like weak. And when I tell you that even the teacher bullied me, Miss Social Studies from 7th grade, that shit, like, how dare you make fun of a fucking student? Like, I guess I was that nigga, like, I had tough skin and I talked about people and but bitch, you had something. Looking back of that day, it was funny, but living it was not funny. I wanted to just hide in the closet and die. I think I got checked out early that day too, and had a hair appointment the next day, boo. Like, I couldn't just keep coming to school like that, especially not after how everybody had treated me. I didn't really get bullied, but that day hit different. Not to mention that my school was on the news like 2 weeks ago for a teacher putting his hands, the dean put his hands on a student. He gonna call that boy a nigga and then punch the fuck out him. When I was getting the weaves, I had a partial, and I wore the weave for a long time. My partial, I started to get this feeling. It didn't get damaged, thank God, but I started to get this feeling that if I keep going down this road, it will get damaged. So I was like, I need to stop this because I need all my hair to grow out right at the same damn time. So I stopped getting the partials and I started getting crochets. And when I got the crochets, I was like, oh yes, baby, this is what I need. Because it was curly hair, so it made me feel decent. Like, made me feel like I was getting closer to my roots. And it was like thick, full hair. I felt like, okay, yes, babe. Thick hair for a thick body. And then the people at the school were loving it. Treat me like I was really that nigga. Like, I think part of the reason why I had to be my own biggest critic is because everybody wanted to paint this picture like they loved me. So if all of you love me and not gonna tell me the truth, I need to tell me the truth. I didn't need people to tell me that I was ugly or fat because I already knew that. But just like have a real conversation with me, bro. Like, but they didn't. Ain't nobody was real. You know, like, my mom always kept it a buck with me. So at least I had her to talk to about, you know, what I was feeling. But I tried not to do it often because it was just a nagging feeling every fucking day. Nobody wants to keep sharing that misery every day. And not only that, it was just like some outside forces was happening too at this time in middle school though. And I'm just like glad to have made it through that point in my life to know that that would be better for me. I wore the crochets till I finished high school, babe. You're finding a theme in this right now. It would be the toxic connectivity. Like, it would be, you know, like abandonment syndrome. That's how I felt about my hair. It's like when my hair wasn't done, I was abandoned. Like, I left like naked and fat for dead type. That's how I felt. That's how I felt. This one time in high school where I did wear my hair out, I'll put the pictures here. My fro was huge when I left the house. Then when I got to the building, the building was so moist. Like, my fro really shrunk, bro. And it took a lot for me that day to just stay positive. Let me tell you, I think the fro was first. The fro was first. That morning drive to school, I could have shit myself. Like I always got anxiety like going to school. I don't know. I walk in the building and everything was alright. They talk about, oh yeah, like they loving it. But honestly, I don't know. I just feel like at this point, it just Delulu, babe, fucking Delulu. I had no idea what I was doing with my hair at the time. I'm still insecure, and not only that, but I went in with my fro like this big and came out with it like this. Now fast forward to the day that I wore the puff in homeroom. So that was this dude, we gonna call him P, and he was sitting on a desk behind me. Like we was pretty cool, whatever, on and off throughout the years, because I was there from like 7th to 12th grade. It was one of them. So we was cool on and off throughout the years and shit. And he ain't never do me nothing like no bitch ass shit that be like we was on and off. But I'm just saying, like, that man had like a life and he was going about these different crowds and shit. This goon sitting behind me on the desk, like playing with the springiness of my hair. And he was in love with it. He was like, oh man, I love your hair. Why don't you ever wear this? This shit is awesome. Like the shrinkage, the springiness. He just couldn't believe that it was like them spirals like that. And I was not fucking with it. I was so mad. I told the nigga stop touching me like so many times. He couldn't. I was insecure. I'm like, man, this playing with me. Like, you know what I mean? I was insecure and bitch made me defensive about the situation. But looking back on it, I'm thankful for him being as open as he was about liking my hair, because if I knew then what I knew now, that really would have put a smile on my face. So the pandemic hit. I ain't gotta deal with the pressures of my insecurity in the face of others. I found joy in myself. Okay, the lockdown, I found joy in myself. I was so happy. I was just like, yes. I always wanted that lifestyle that I got during the lockdown. When I was younger, I used to dream of it. Like, if I didn't have to have like no schooling or like no work, I used to want to be homeschooled. I used to want to I just wanted to be. I just wanted to exist. You know what I mean? So when the pandemic hit, I felt like God had shown me that life was possible. Like, I would have never thought it took a pandemic, but I didn't care. I was happy. That was the most joyous moment for me. That's when I started to like learn confidence and like learn hair care and just like reinvent my diet and find out that I do actually like salad, and exercise feels fucking great, bro. Like, I could feel the blood rushing through my veins. Like, this food, I feel energized, and my scalp is a thing. Like, I could make blood go to my scalp, and my hair is soft and it's growing. And I started doing the Aztec clay mask, and my hair thrived. Like, that first year of COVID and shit, it was thriving because I was really like prioritizing my health like inside and out. Like, I really started to feel great, because I think just waking up in the morning and then going to a place that doesn't really better me as a human being, because I'm fucking shitty every day, you know what I mean? Like, in the back of my dome, in my subconscious mind, I'm shit, my guy. So waking up every morning and having to like really suppress that to get through the day, instead of having the time, the will, the energy to be able to bring that shit to the forefront of my mind and like change what I could change about it, hashtag serenity prayer, and really finally start to take action steps to the fucking life that I want, I slipped into joy. Okay, just bliss. No more depression for me. No more depression for me. Yeah, that's when my hair grew substantially. But also throughout the last 9 months, my hair had grew to the longest that it has ever been, fullest it's ever been, and I was loving it. I was loving it. But unfortunately, darling, I was mistaking my hair's length for health. Yep, the last 9 months I've been mistaking like length for health, and it's not. And my mom was trying to help me, because like I said, you know, I was experiencing joy, yes I was, but the trauma the healing. The thing about trauma is that healing process. I wasn't fully healed. That shit takes time. I'm pretty much there now. I'm there now. That's why I'm talking about it. Nah, my mom was trying to help me out. I'm doing like this because it wasn't a help, but it helped here. But whenever I would get a trim, she would take like just the ends off, like, you know, just a little something, just to keep me from looking like I got grass on the end of my head. Trim the hedges. That was not sufficient. All the dead shit needed to come off. All of it. All the dead shit needed to come off. And that's what you saw in the Korean skincare unboxing and the hair trim video. I know I just put one clip of my hair getting trimmed up in there, but you gotta bear with me, man. I was really going through something. Like, that was my first like 2.5 inch trim. After this trauma, after this drama that I just shared with you, man, I needed a moment. I just needed to get it done. When I looked at the floor, it didn't look like it was much hair. But when I washed my hair, when my hair was wet, like getting ready for these braids, part of me wants to insert the pictures so I could be like fully transparent, you know, because I'm over the other shit, but I'm not really over this. Yeah, it feels great. It feels great. It feels like the healthiest it's ever been. Like, my ends aren't coming out, they're just popping back. I could go at it with my finger, I could go at it with a rat tail, part it, and bada bing, bada boom, like a new head of hair, you hear me? But seeing that after the trim, ooh-wee, it takes some getting used to. Like, every time I did something, I saw length. I finally felt like I was retaining some length in my life. Because there was this point in time, let's go back to high school, because I forgot to tell you about this. But there was this point in time, I got the perimeter of my hair dyed in high school because we ran out of dye. And, oh, you heard it? That was my shoulder. As it grew out, you can see that was the only part that got perm. I mean, that was the only part that got dyed. I don't know what the science was behind it, what was the method to my madness. I don't know why I didn't like want the rest of it once we ran out. I was like, ah. But I was actually like, screw it, maybe for my better judgment, thank you, Lord. So tell me why, as it grew out, like, you can see my new growth. Like, my new growth is busting. So my hair was like dark brown with black looking. It was dark brown here, like light brown here, and then dark brown at the ends. So I think that I wasn't retaining length because my whole head of hair had then like regrew, but it doesn't look like that. Like, from the science of it, it seemed like my hair should be at least mid back length. I had 2 times the hair on my head because how did this grow down to my ends? How did this grow down to my ends? But it does. It's the same length. It's the same length. The math not mathing. Whatever. Now, when it came to this trim, I knew when I saw my hair like as a fro, I knew these ends. I can't wait to deep condition, y'all, please. But when my hair was getting trimmed through, when I was blowing that joint out, I knew what needed to come off. I did. I've always known. But when it came to fruition, I was really shook because the fact it just didn't look like what I thought it was gonna look like. Now, babe, we are at the phase of the journey where we are in the process of achieving ultimate health. For me, that means length retention, that means moisture, that means not putting too much product on it, that means scalp massages, deep conditioning, length retention, and just overall internalized love. You're not gonna make the same mistake. I mean, I don't feel like that big body little hair, you know, as girls. So babe, if you need a trim or to stop perming or whatever it is that's like ruining your relationship with your hair, if you are at that state in your life, just do it. Do it now. Don't keep waiting, because you know time not waiting for you, and you're just gonna get older and have to deal with the pressures of that later. So Man, do it now. Just do it now. I didn't know at that time, but I know now that I had a negative relationship with my hair as it was growing. I was loving it. Don't get me wrong. I was loving it. So when you love something, it's a bit hard to see the negatives, the downfalls. You know, love is blind kind of shit. And I was like that with my hair. Yeah, I didn't know at the time that the relationship that I had, the image of my hair that I had in my head was negative. It's because I was valuing and prioritizing curls over my hair, period. I just wanted curls. In the early stages of the fro, I felt kind of ugly. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, why the fuck is it doing like this? Like, this is not what I want. And don't get me wrong though, when I spent hours in front of the mirror to come out fucked up, like for my hair just to come out messed up, it looked like I did it in the dark instead of doing it in front of the mirror, my guy. I was stressing. Toxic. To love something in only one way. Something, someone, anything. To love anything in just one way. Like your room, for example. You've been living in this room since you was 9. You gonna keep the furniture the exact same way, in the exact same setup until you're 30? That's kind of toxic. But no more. Right here I have a list of mistakes that I made in the past. And it's only wanting curls. Not detangling frequently, not moisturizing frequently, not trimming frequently, using chemicals, and smothering my hair with fake hair. See, using the chemicals and smothering my hair with fake hair, those two are things, like, all of this I want to say are things of the past, but these two are things of the distant past. Okay, I haven't put a chemical in my hair in like, I don't know, 11 years, maybe 12, and I haven't wore braids in like probably about 5 years. The last braids I did them in quarantine. I just wanted to see if I could do it because I was able to do it on my mannequin, and it came out good. But I didn't even keep them in long enough because the parts were big, and you know. But it was cool. It was cute. It served its purpose. But I'm no longer smothering my hair with fake hair, and I'm no longer using chemicals. See, but I'm also not gonna not trim my hair anymore because I don't want to go throughout life again having to get like 2.5 inches of my hair cut off, my guy. Because as a natural, we tend to have this this stigma about the shrinkage. And it's like when your hair is long, it's so easy. Like when my hair was long, it was so easy to accept my shrinkage for what it was, because it's just gonna stretch out. Like I got hair, like that shit way down, you hear me? Like it ain't nothing. Nah, not moisturizing frequently, dog. What do I even, like, what I mean by that is I would wait till my hair actually got dry before I would moisturize it. When my hair is out, I really need to be moisturizing it on like day 3, like before it gets dry. That's day 3 for me. And not detangling frequently. Man, like when my hair would be out, I would probably detangle it, like I would say once a week. But with that perm lifestyle being like embedded in me, it just don't feel right not having access to detangle my hair. Like at least with it being natural, at least I think twice a week. And that was also stemming from the curls, because I didn't want my fucking curls to get frizzy, so I didn't detangle it, and I didn't add moisture to it to be frizzy because it acted best while it was dry. But we all know that is not how we keep healthy hair. Keeping dry, brittled hair so it could be crusted into curls is not the what, ladies? It's not the move. Now that I come to the point of cutting off 2.5 inches of my hair, I'm excited to embrace the fro and share the rest of this journey with you. So subscribe to see where my hair goes from here, and please feel free to share with me where you are in your hair journey so we can grow bigger, better, and healthier together. I'm gonna continue taking these braids down, and maybe my camera been charged enough to show you, you know, like the finished product. Hey darling, as you can see, but the back is like a quarter done. And I'm in the car now because we are at Catnip, but the grind must go on. Alright y'all, as you can see, I took down the braids. This my hair so stretched, it's so pretty, right? Let me sit down. Okay. No braids. It's probably not moving, it's so dense right now because it's so greasy. But I'd rather greasy over dry, because at least the grease gives you some sort of slip while you combing it out. I like this. My hair, I like it all big like this, you know what I mean? Because we don't like big hair. This is not cute. So that's what this piece is at. And back here,
yeah, I know it's been a little while, but I gotta let them know. Yeah, if you ever been down, opportunity to grow. Yeah, I know you having trouble understanding it. If you trust in God, He got His hands in it. I promise to protect you like His lamb in it. He don't get the glory if the man did it. You gotta stand with Him. I know. Yeah, life gets hard and it feels like it's no way out. Yeah. Promise if you just keep going, it'll all work out. Yeah, 'cause that's my God. He won't let you go by far. All you need to know right now, He gon' pick you up, give you love right now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All I want is it all I need. Give me God, because everything I am, I'm trading. Got my life in your hands, all my plans, 'cause I'm trading what's good for me, 'cause you're good for me. I know it's been a while, but I gotta tell the truth. Throwing away my old ways, something that I gotta do. I gotta get the power from the stars. That's the only way to stay the course. Always wanna